Welcome to Deleted Saves. On this episode, Rockin' Man, a retrospective review of the remainder of the Mega Man games I have played. In the year 20XX, or 2000X, or possibly 19XX, it's always been one of those three. Humanity lives in harmony with robots, who do the hard labor while we swan about being artsy and shit, I guess. That is, until one mad scientist, a Dr. Wily, decides the free ride for humanity is over and begins infecting the robots with a virus that turns them against us, led by the fiercest robots of them all, known as the Masters. With no other choice, Wily's former friend and fellow scientist, Dr. Light, must turn his ultimate creation of peace into a weapon of war, Mega Man, known as Rockman in Japan. This begins a decades-long saga of one little blue robot saving all of our collective hides again and again in action-adventure, role-playing light, and strategy formats. What seems like forever ago, I reviewed Mega Man 2, the NES classic title that really seemed to solidify the formula for the game series more than the first game did. I also reviewed, again forever ago, Mega Man Legends, the Blue Bomber's first role-playing outing, if it could be called that. In short, I love both games for very different reasons, but I never really talked about my time with the rest of the series. I'm here to correct that. But first, I wouldn't be true to my teacher self if I didn't include a little history. Mega Man was the brainchild of 2-Men at Capcom in the mid-1980s. Akira Kitamura and Kenji Inafune, a name many of you in the gaming world may be familiar with. Heavily influenced in the design by Osamu Tezuka's manga Astro Boy, mixed with the old children's game of rock, paper, scissors in how to defeat the game's multiple bosses, we were all off to blast away through the future, where the awfully cute and colorful hordes of themed androids were waiting to be decommissioned in their equally themed stages. His Japanese name of Rockman was based on the idea of rock and roll, as he had a sister robot named Roll, a nod to the high-energy music genre said to be infused within the spirit of the game. The name was changed in the US to Mega Man by Capcom's then Senior Vice President Joseph Morici, who, because he hated the name, and it was reported that American kids would like the title better, changed it. Through iteration and mutation, Mega Man has gained a lot of abilities over the years. Charge shots, the ability to slide under tight spaces, and all sorts of tidbits to his kit and one-use collectible items. But through it all, the basic formula has stayed the same. Once defeated, he takes the power of the Robot Masters to use for his own purposes, which are usually to destroy the remaining Robot Masters. I have spent a lot of time with this series over the years, but how have those other games stacked up? Well, let's get into that. 1987's Mega Man would be the game I came to after playing through Mega Man 2. The graphics looked rougher, less polished than in the sequel, and there were only 6 Robot Masters as opposed to 8. The game was bloody awful hard for me, even back when I had more dexterity in my fingers and time on my hands to play games. This was also the years before the internet ever existed, so finding out the order of which to defeat the Robot Masters was either guesswork or waiting for it to show up in the published pages of something like Nintendo Power. But I bludgeoned my way through it, stage by stage. I finally got past the Robot Masters and into Wily's castle. No matter how many times I tried, and even years later as an adult, I simply could not get that insta-kill on the yellow demon trick to work, no matter how much I hammered on the pause button between electric shot frames. But since I've seen video of people getting it to work easily, time and again, I don't know what's wrong with me. I just got to about the end of the first game and lost interest. It just seemed like a lot of work for very little payoff. And I found the same malaise overcoming me a few years ago when I played it again as an adult. This game is primitive by the standards set by its later games, and in some ways, even around the games that existed in its time. but if you are a completionist, this is definitely one to play. I was excited for 1990's Mega Man 3. I'd first heard about it through Nintendo Power, where Capcom was holding open auditions for the fans for Robot Master ideas to be sent in. I sent in a Robot Master submission idea, drawn by a much younger me. I can't remember what I even suggested, but it obviously didn't make the cut. Hey, I tried. And I still got a copy of the game. New characters were added. Rush the companion Robopup, the ultra mysterious and cool Proto Man and his chiptune whistle intro, the potential new Peace Protector robot named Gamma, spoilers, but it all goes pear-shaped real quick, and the possibility of Wily having gone good guy. When things go wrong, Mega Man is brought out of mothballs to destroy the Robot Masters and set things right. This is also a game where the slide mechanic was introduced, giving new mobility options and stage design options, and new ways for me to completely blow it and accidentally slide into pits and off cliffs because I'm bad at platformers, and adding more mechanics in a high-speed action game makes it worse for me. I don't know why I didn't finish this title, but I know I got as far as the entrance to Wily's castle and realized I wasn't having any fun, so I dropped it. I tried it again a year ago as an adult, and got through one stage before I remembered that, oh yeah, I don't actually like this game, so I dropped it again. Moving on, I guess. 1991's Mega Man 4 would be my last game of the series, at least for a while. I'm not really sure I was excited for it, but I felt I had to play it. I remember there was something about Wily being dead. Dr. Cossack was now the bad guy with his 8 robot masters, and Mega Man had to come out of retirement yet again, like a pro wrestler whose movie career tanked. I also remember this is the one where it seemed like they were running out of ideas for themed robot masters, with names like Dust Man, Pharaoh Man, and Skull Man. What I did not remember was this was the game that introduced the charge up shot on the Mega Buster, which when I played it a year ago jogged my memory. What memory also got jogged was the fact that I played 2 stages of this game in 1991 and dumped it like a hot rock. I played count 'em, one stage of this game a year ago and realized I was never going to touch this game again. This would be the last Mega Man game I would bother with of the mainline series for decades to come. I wasn't sad to see it go, but I was disappointed. None of them brought me the same thrill as Mega Man 2. Who knows why? But that is what it is, folks. This next one is going to be short, along with the next few. I first played Mega Man 7 a year ago with the Mega Man Legacy Collection Bundle Number 2. Originally released on the SNES in 1995, I was playing other SNES games and genres by then, so this one passed me by. Mega Man was there with all his adaptations he had made up until Mega Man 4. Rush was there. Proto Man was there. Some guy named Eddie in his shop was there. Some new character named Bass and Treble were there. There were only 4 Robot Masters. And yes, I know 4 more appear once these are defeated. But I tried Cloud Man's stage and realized it was a rehash of Air Man's stage from Mega Man 2, only shittier, and I noped out of the game entirely. I was not going to put up with that in any way. That's all I know about this game. But at least I tried it. As with the previous game, I first played Mega Man 8 in the collection bundle as the previous one about a year ago. Originally released in 1996 on the SNES, I was unaware of it until the bundle collection. I played the introductory stage. That's it. What the fuck was that 2D 0.5D nightmare? Can anyone explain that shit to me? Sorry, I just couldn't do it. If this is your favorite game, I'm happy for you. I would have hated this back then, and I don't like it now. Moving on. Again, played from the same collection, Mega Man 9 was originally released in 2008 and dropped on the PS3 Xbox 360, and assorted consoles of the 7th generation. It apes the NES era graphics and gameplay, and I believe was the first time a female coded robot master debuted in the form of Splash Woman. I don't really know what the finer points of the plot are, but it's pretty much the Mega Man standard. Destroy 8 robot masters, steal their power from the smoldering remains, and defeat Wily or whoever's in charge now yet again. I gave it at least a few hours of my time, but didn't defeat any of the robot masters, and was beginning to wonder if I'd left Mega Man behind, or if the games had left me behind many years ago. Guys, I don't think this mainline series is for me anymore, but I'm glad it hung in there for this long enough to get to the 7th gen consoles, and that at least warms my heart. Released in the year 2000 for the PlayStation 1, Mega Man Legends 2 is pretty much the same game as its predecessor title, which is an RPG light featuring Mega Man Volnut, Roll Casket, Gramps, aka Barrel Casket, and the Bond family, who are more rivals than the actual villains. The mechanics of this 3D title are a little weird, such as slow tank control turns, dodging left or right on the trigger buttons, and all special weapons must be upgraded by spending ridiculous amounts of money on them, and you can only access one at a time, so know which one you need before you enter a dungeon. In this world where Mega Man is a digger, traveling from the flooded island to flooded island nations, looking for relics and gems to cache, the crew is looking for the fabled Mother Lode yet again, which will somehow solve the world's problems. Hardly the first time we've seen the story in an overblown fable that will magically fix the day-to-day struggle of the average person and bring about utopia. There are more islands to explore in this game. Digger licenses must be fought for to open more dungeons, and the new enemies are servitors of the last true human who believes the humans running around in this setting are false humans and poor sub-creatures worthy of little more than extermination. And his servitors plan to set off the device that will kill everyone, except of course for Mega Man, who is in fact the last true human's rogue servitor who refused to kill. While this game was really fun, I never actually finished it. Like its previous game, I would love to see this re-released somehow, maybe as a double pack, but I know the Mega Man Legends games are not really very popular with the wider fan base. No one is asking for a new Legends game anymore, especially after the original aborted Legends 3 development and PR disaster. And Capcom certainly isn't wasting their time with this offshoot series. I guess emulation is going to have to be the answer if you want to play these games. Unless you want to pay collector's prices for original hardware, which could run you anywhere between $80 to well over $200 per the game. Or if you want to pay for the PS1 classics on PlayStation Plus, I guess, which I'm actually not all that keen on, but maybe you'll find it worthwhile. If you haven't tried this game, or at least the first one, and don't mind oddball mechanics, they are certainly worth your time. An offshoot of an offshoot. The Misadventures of Tron Bonne was released in 1999 for the PlayStation 1, which is where it lived and died alongside its progenitor series, Mega Man Legends. Not really an RPG light. This is more of an action game with 3D shooter and puzzle elements. You play Tron Bonne before she meets Mega Man Volnut and develops her not really hidden crush on him, back in her air pirate days, along with her brothers and small army of Servbots, who look suspiciously like generic Lego men, who you have to manage throughout the game. Tron and her brothers rob and dig their way across multiple islands in search of Diana's Tear, a refractor crystal worth millions, which will be used to pay off the loan shark Loth, who funded the ship Tron's older brother built. The loan shark takes the Tear and the Bond boys as well, and Tron tries to raise 1 million Zenny bounty to free them. Late in the game, when Tron realizes that no matter how much money she raises, Loth will never let the Bonds go, she gets captured too, and the Serbots mount a rescue of the entire Bond clan. While not really the same type of game as the Legends game, This is genuinely cute and a cheerful comedy title, fleshing out the Bond family and their personalities, and is much more of a management sim as much as it is an adventure game. If you don't mind that, then this is a great companion piece to the Legends series. If not, then you can skip it and not really miss anything in the mainline games. At last, we come to the Mega Man X series, first released on the SNES in 1993, which is where I played it. This would be the only game in the X series I would play. Set 100 years after the mainline titles, this Mega Man is a successor to the original, the last creation of the now deceased Dr. Light. With there no longer being robot masters, our enemies are called Mavericks, and we are a Maverick hunter, putting down robots that have decided to kill humanity. X is now accompanied by Zero, another Maverick hunter, who is some sort of friendly rival to him, I think. The game follows much the same pattern as the others in the series. Introductory stage, select a Maverick hunt and begin and gain their power from, and they have been having a better naming convention rather than every other name ending in the word man. And X can pick up armored wear, and an even more powerful primary arm cannon has been gifted to him. And as this is a Capcom game, and if you know how to get it, you can even gain the powerful Dragon Punch maneuver stolen right out of Street Fighter II. I never completed this game. It was a good game, with a powerful graphics chip for the time that gave the game a more fluid, cartoonish design, a lot of good 2.5D levels, bold and vibrant color palettes, and it just looked, in a word, modern compared to the NES games that were out at the time. However, it was just not the game for me. By this point, I was transitioning into RPGs and longer, slower titles, and away from action platformers. So while I see the appeal of Mega Man X and absolutely agree that it deserves all the acclaim that it gets, this is not a title I would ever again revisit. Not out of anger or boredom or anything truly bad, but just because it is no longer the type of game I enjoy. But I tried it, and that's all that matters. At least so they say. So this is my post-mortem on the extended Mega Man series as I have played it. This is a series where I have tried and quit far more games than I have actually completed, or ever reached more than the halfway points in. So I have to ask myself the following question. What have I actually learned from this series? Why is my completion rate so low? Well, the truthful and uncomfortable answer is that this is very much a me problem. I love Mega Man as a concept. I am a fan, as much as I can be a fan of anything. I'm not someone that has that quote unquote fan mentality of Mega Man as a little fighting robot hero out to save the world. I don't like playing Mega Man games mechanically in any way. I do not generally enjoy platformers, especially platformers that require memorization and twitch reflexes to complete. The Mega Man series, outside of the Legends subseries, is all the worst elements of platformer games I cannot stand. I'm sure many people may wonder how I can even play video games if I don't inherently love platform style games, where jumping and shooting are the primary requirements of interaction with the medium. Well, as I have said before, thank whatever benevolent powers guide this universe that there are other types of video games being made, or I would have quit this hobby decades ago. Mega Man as a series keeps trucking along without me just fine, as a 12th mainline entry in the series was just announced as of time of this recording, due out in 2027, which will really date the fuck out of this episode in a few years. But it is proof that the fans love these games, and it would seem Capcom is still willing to put some faith in the Blue Bomber enough to take him out for one more spin. If it does well enough, Maybe they will take another look at the Legends series and see if it's worth enough of their time and money to revive it so I can play a new entry before I'm 60. One can dream, I suppose. Mega Man, as a character and a series, deserves its flowers. Or maybe AI controlled mechanical flowers. Whatever that may be. I'm glad I've spent my time with it. But to paraphrase Roy Batty, a spiritually similar Hunted Maverick replicant, all of my Mega Man moments will be lost in time, like tears in the rain. Thank you for listening. Deleted Saves would like to thank Brad, Keith Gasper, Masked Llama, Martin Cabell, and the many listeners and supporters of being patrons and fans of the show. If you would like to become a patron of the show, please go to patreon.com and check out the Deleted Saves podcast. All donations go directly towards maintaining the show itself. Thank you.